Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions, your day feels like it slips through your fingers? Why even the most motivating personal motivation speech or energizing personal motivation songs don't seem to help? The truth is, hidden within your routine are small, seemingly harmless habits that are quietly sabotaging your daily habits and sapping your motivation. In this video, we're diving deep into 7 daily habits that are secretly destroying your productivity. A countdown that will expose what's holding you back, and how you can reclaim focus, energy, and success. From personal motivation videos that fail to stick, to overlooked patterns that even the most disciplined people fall into, every point we cover is rooted in history, science, and the lessons of high achievers. Whether it's the allure of hitting snooze, the trap of constant notifications, or neglecting the power of movement, each habit silently drains your energy and undermines your personal motivation in English and personal motivation in Spanish. We'll explore insights from military motivation routines, gym motivation practices, Rocky motivation strategies, and even the timeless wisdom behind bodybuilding motivation and sports motivation. You'll learn why anime motivation techniques, temic motivation, and even music motivation playlists are more effective when paired with the right daily habits. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to identify these hidden productivity killers, break free from their grip, and rebuild your personal motivation to achieve more than you thought possible. Get ready to transform your days, reclaim your energy, and supercharge your focus. Now, let's uncover the first hidden trap that's quietly ruining your productivity. The alarm blares at 6 a.m. You're determined to start your day right, to build daily habits that push you closer to your goals. But before your feet even hit the floor, your finger reaches for the snooze button. 5 more minutes, then 10. Soon, those extra minutes stretch into half an hour, and with them, your first victory of the day slips away. This is the silent thief known as the morning snooze trap. It seems harmless, but every time you hit snooze, you are training your mind to procrastinate before the day even begins. The energy you could have invested in building focus, in personal motivation, or in tackling your top tasks, vanishes into comfort and inertia. Even listening to a personal motivation speech or watching a personal motivation video won't matter if your morning starts with hesitation. Imagine instead waking up immediately. You play personal motivation songs that fire up your brain, or a gym motivation playlist that pumps your energy before you even move. Think of the discipline taught by military motivation, the relentless drive of Rocky motivation, or the immersive focus of anime motivation. All starting with one simple choice: to rise, not snooze. Even sports motivation and bodybuilding motivation show the same truth. Champions win before breakfast. The morning snooze trap isn't just lost minutes. It's a pattern that shapes your daily habits and quietly erodes your motivation. Writing a personal motivation letter to yourself, reviewing your goals, or listening to a personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish track can anchor your mind in purpose, giving your day direction and momentum. So tomorrow, when the alarm rings, resist the comfort. Your daily habits and your personal motivation are worth more than 5 extra minutes of sleep. Stand up, breathe deep, and step into your day ready to conquer it. Because the first victory of the morning sets the tone for every success that follows. Most people start their day reaching for coffee before even touching a glass of water. It feels natural, even comforting, a ritual passed down through generations. But here's the hidden truth. Starting with coffee instead of hydration silently sabotages your daily habits and your motivation. Centuries ago, warriors, monks, and athletes knew the power of water first thing in the morning to awaken the body, focus the mind, and fuel energy for the day ahead. Yet today, millions are trapped in a modern habit that drains them before they even begin. The problem isn't caffeine, it's timing. Drinking coffee before water spikes energy artificially, creates crashes, and delays mental clarity. Even with personal motivation speeches, personal motivation videos, or personal motivation songs ready to fire you up, this early mistake undermines your potential. Imagine an athlete ignoring hydration before training. Their gym motivation and bodybuilding motivation would be compromised, no matter how inspired they felt. Consider the lessons from military motivation. Soldiers don't start their day with stimulants, they condition their bodies and minds first. The same is true for Rocky motivation, anime motivation, and soccer motivation icons. Hydration, discipline, and focus come before external stimulation. Incorporating this principle into your daily habits can transform mornings, turning sluggish starts into high-energy, purposeful action. Even productivity legends and entrepreneurs understand this. Drinking water first, writing a personal motivation letter, reviewing goals, or listening to personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish before coffee aligns the mind with intention. Suddenly, caffeine becomes a tool, not a crutch. Your motivation music fuels action instead of masking fatigue. By simply swapping the order, water first, coffee second, you reclaim control of your morning. You harness personal motivation, optimize your daily habits, and build momentum that carries into every task. The choice is small, but the impact is massive. Start with water. Protect your energy. Feed your focus. Because real motivation doesn't come from coffee. It comes from the rituals that honor your body, your mind, and your daily habits. The moment you sit at your desk, your phone buzzes. A new email. Another notification. You open it, and suddenly, your morning is gone. The endless email check has quietly become one of the biggest productivity killers in modern life, silently eroding your daily habits and your motivation before the real work even begins. It wasn't always this way. In the 1980s and 90s, checking messages was deliberate and rare. Today, digital connectivity makes instant responses feel mandatory. But the constant inflow of emails doesn't inspire personal motivation. It fractures focus, turns intention into reaction, and keeps your mind scattered. Even listening to a personal motivation speech or watching a personal motivation video while juggling an inbox won't fix the underlying drain. Consider the discipline of elite athletes and leaders. A gym motivation routine, bodybuilding motivation practice, or a military motivation drill starts with structure, not interruption. Reading one message at a time, planning action, and sticking to daily habits creates momentum. Yet, the endless pinging of emails conditions millions to chase distractions instead of results. Rocky motivation, anime motivation, and soccer motivation legends all demonstrate this principle. The problem deepens when emails masquerade as urgent, but are truly trivial. The brain treats them as tasks, triggering dopamine rewards for shallow engagement rather than meaningful work. Even personal motivation songs or motivational music cannot override this habit unless you intentionally schedule your attention. Writing a personal motivation letter, journaling your top priorities, or reviewing goals using personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish are far more productive ways to start your day. To break free, set boundaries. Allocate specific times for emails, and protect your mornings for deep work and high-energy action. By doing so, you reclaim control over your daily habits, boost your motivation, and turn your morning into a launchpad for achievement. The inbox can wait, but your potential cannot. Before the sun has fully risen, your phone lights up the darkened room. One swipe, then another. Before you know it, an hour has disappeared into the black hole of social media. This is the silent productivity killer known as scrolling before sunrise, and it quietly erodes your daily habits and your motivation before the day has even begun. It wasn't always this way. In decades past, mornings were sacred, moments of reflection, quiet planning, and mindful preparation. Leaders, athletes, and innovators used the early hours to cultivate focus, discipline, and personal motivation. Today, the glow of a phone replaces these rituals, making shallow content feel urgent while real priorities wait patiently. Even watching a personal motivation video, listening to personal motivation songs, or absorbing a personal motivation speech cannot counteract the energy drained by mindless scrolling. Consider the lessons from gym motivation and bodybuilding motivation. Champions begin their day with intention, not distraction. Soldiers follow military motivation routines that prioritize action over entertainment. Rocky motivation, anime motivation, and soccer motivation legends know that the first hour of the day sets the tone for the rest. By scrolling aimlessly, you delay your daily habits, weaken your discipline, and reduce the effectiveness of your personal motivation practices. The impact extends beyond time lost. Blue light disrupts circadian rhythms, anxiety rises, and focus fades. Hydration, journaling, or reviewing a personal motivation letter, or even reading personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish, can anchor your mind with purpose. A conscious pause before your phone allows your motivation music, themic motivation, or music motivation playlist to inspire action, instead of feeding distraction. Break the habit. Place your phone out of reach, start with mindful breathing, and dedicate the first 30 minutes to intentional action. By doing so, you protect your daily habits, ignite your personal motivation, and turn the sunrise into a launching point for high achievement. Remember, every minute before the sun is an opportunity to win or waste, and the choice is yours. Many people underestimate the power of breakfast. Some skip it entirely, while others grab sugary snacks or heavy meals that crash energy before 10 a.m. Skipping breakfast, or choosing the wrong one, is one of the most underestimated enemies of daily habits and motivation. The food we consume in the morning is fuel for both the body and mind, setting the tone for productivity, focus, and long-term discipline. Historically, great leaders, athletes, and innovators understood the importance of starting the day with intention. A simple, balanced meal can anchor your personal motivation, preparing you mentally and physically for challenges ahead. Ignoring this habit weakens the impact of a personal motivation speech, personal motivation video, or personal motivation songs, because the body lacks the energy to act on inspiration. Even gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation routines suffer if the fuel isn't there to power your performance. Consider the discipline behind military motivation. Soldiers never leave for a mission on empty or with poor nutrition. Their daily habits prioritize breakfast as a foundation of resilience. The same is true for Rocky motivation, anime motivation, and soccer motivation routines, where proper morning fuel aligns body and mind. Even sipping a personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish quote loses impact if your energy is low. Writing a personal motivation letter or listening to music motivation will feel flat without the physical readiness breakfast provides. The key isn't complexity, it's balance. Protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs provide sustained energy, stabilizing blood sugar and supporting focus. Pair your morning meal with hydration or a few minutes of reflection to solidify your daily habits. By respecting breakfast, you strengthen your motivation, your discipline, and your ability to seize the day with purpose. Remember, how you start your day with food can determine whether your personal motivation, gym motivation, or bodybuilding motivation truly translates into action. You might think juggling emails while sipping coffee, listening to a podcast, and checking messages is efficient. But this is the multitasking myth at work. Far from being productive, multitasking quietly sabotages your daily habits and dilutes your motivation. What once was celebrated as skill in the 80s and 90s now proves to fracture focus, slow progress, and create mental fatigue that lingers throughout the day. History teaches us that the most successful people never multitasked. Leaders, athletes, and creators focused intensely on one task at a time. Personal motivation speeches, personal motivation videos, and personal motivation songs lose impact when your mind is scattered. Even a strong gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, or sports motivation session becomes half as effective if your brain is divided across tasks. The science is clear. Multitasking splits your attention, reduces memory retention, and weakens discipline. Soldiers practicing military motivation, Rocky motivation routines, and anime motivation characters in their narratives show us that immersion matters. Deep focus cultivates personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish, reinforcing goals and solidifying success. Writing a personal motivation letter or reflecting on achievements also fails if your energy is constantly fragmented. Instead of multitasking, embrace sequential focus. Tackle one priority, honor your daily habits, and harness motivation music, thematic motivation, or structured routines to build momentum. Layering tasks is not the answer. Stacking personal motivation and intention is. Over time, this practice restores clarity, strengthens your motivation, and makes each morning a powerhouse of achievement rather than chaos. Remember, efficiency isn't about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right thing fully. Your daily habits and personal motivation thrive when focus leads the way. You sit down to start your day, only to be greeted by stacks of papers, scattered pens, and half-finished notebooks. The visual chaos mirrors the mental one. This is the silent productivity killer called cluttered desks, cluttered minds. Disorganization doesn't just create stress. It slowly erodes your daily habits and dilutes your motivation, turning mornings into a battle before work even begins. If you like these daily habits and tips for unstoppable motivation, don't forget to like this video, comment below what you think, and follow Future Forge for daily inspiration. While you're here, keep watching our amazing videos to further develop your daily habits, boost your motivation, and unleash your full potential. Now, back to the story. In decades past, office culture emphasized neatness, planning, and rituals that fostered personal motivation. Entrepreneurs, military leaders, and athletes knew that physical order supported mental clarity. Even listening to a personal motivation speech, watching a personal motivation video, or playing personal motivation songs cannot compensate for the constant friction of visual distraction. Gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation all thrive in environments designed for focus. Messy desks undermine that principle. Consider military motivation. Soldiers meticulously arrange gear before missions. Rocky motivation routines and anime motivation training montages show the same lesson. Preparation matters. A cluttered workspace distracts, interrupts deep thinking, and diminishes your ability to act on personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish. Even writing a personal motivation letter loses power when your environment is chaotic. The antidote is simple. Clear your desk, organize materials, and dedicate a small morning ritual to order. Pair this with motivation music, temic motivation, or other focus-enhancing daily habits. The physical act of decluttering trains the mind to prioritize, reduces stress, and strengthens discipline. Over time, clean spaces reinforce personal motivation, making every morning more intentional and every task more achievable. Remember, a cluttered desk is more than an aesthetic problem. It's a subtle thief of your motivation and a silent saboteur of your daily habits. Order in your space equals clarity in your mind. Your calendar is full, but how many of those meetings actually move the needle? Enter the silent productivity killer. Meetings for the sake of meetings. Endless discussions, unnecessary updates, and overbooked agendas quietly erode your daily habits and sap your motivation, leaving you exhausted before real work even begins. Historically, efficiency was king. Leaders, innovators, and military strategists understood that every hour had value. They built routines that prioritized action, reflection, and focused execution. Today, even with a personal motivation speech, personal motivation video, or personal motivation songs cued to inspire, the constant pull of redundant meetings fractures attention. Your gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation efforts suffer when focus is repeatedly interrupted. The lesson is clear from military motivation. Only essential briefings are scheduled, and time is treated as a weapon. Rocky motivation training sessions and anime motivation montages show a similar principle: quality over quantity. Even personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish teachings lose their impact when your schedule is cluttered with obligations that don't matter. Writing a personal motivation letter or tuning into temic motivation requires uninterrupted attention, which excessive meetings destroy. The solution is simple but profound. Set clear agendas, decline unnecessary gatherings, and guard your focus fiercely. Pair this with intentional daily habits, structured priorities, and a dose of motivation music. By doing so, you reclaim control, amplify your personal motivation, and transform fragmented mornings into high-impact, productive time. Remember, not every meeting is essential. Protect your motivation, optimize your daily habits, and make every hour count. Efficiency, clarity, and focus always win over empty chatter. Sitting slouched at your desk, shoulders rounded, head forward, you feel it almost immediately: fatigue, tension, and a creeping lack of focus. This is the silent drain known as poor posture, poor energy, a hidden productivity killer that quietly undermines your daily habits and saps your motivation before your day even begins. Historically, posture was a symbol of discipline and focus. Soldiers followed strict military motivation routines, athletes honed gym motivation and bodybuilding motivation techniques, and even legendary figures like Rocky motivation enthusiasts understood the link between alignment and energy. Personal motivation speeches, personal motivation videos, and personal motivation songs only work if your body is ready to act. Slouching compresses lungs, reduces oxygen flow, and diminishes mental clarity, making even the most inspiring personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish messages less effective. The power of posture goes beyond physical comfort. Standing tall while reviewing a personal motivation letter or engaging with temic motivation content helps reinforce confidence, alertness, and focus. Poor posture interferes with deep breathing, a core element of sports motivation routines and anime motivation training sequences. Even music motivation and soccer motivation drills rely on an energized, aligned body to maximize performance. The solution is simple but transformative. Strengthen your back, engage your core, and check your alignment throughout the day. Combine this with micro breaks, stretches, and intentional daily habits to maintain energy and clarity. By correcting posture, you amplify your motivation, enhance focus, and reclaim hours lost to fatigue. Remember, every inch of slouch costs a fraction of your potential. Stand tall, and let your personal motivation and daily habits soar. In the rush to power through tasks, many skip the simplest yet most effective productivity tool: the short pause. Neglecting small breaks may seem insignificant, but it quietly erodes your daily habits and drains your motivation over time. Just 5 minutes away from the desk, a brief stretch, or a mindful breath can be the difference between fatigue and peak performance. Historically, even military leaders and high achievers understood the value of these micro breaks. Military motivation routines emphasize short rest periods to reset focus and maintain endurance. Athletes relying on gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, or sports motivation incorporate mini breaks to sustain energy and performance. Ignoring these pauses leads to burnout, reduced alertness, and scattered attention, making personal motivation speeches, personal motivation videos, and personal motivation songs less effective. Consider the benefits. A brief moment to hydrate, reflect, or breathe deeply improves decision-making, reinforces personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish, and allows you to process information before tackling the next task. Even writing a personal motivation letter or listening to temic motivation or music motivation playlists becomes more impactful when you honor these short intermissions. Anime motivation routines and Rocky motivation training sequences often highlight strategic rest as essential for progress, proving that pauses are productivity allies, not indulgences. The secret is consistency. Schedule these mini breaks into your daily habits, treat them as sacred moments of reset, and watch focus, creativity, and motivation surge. Small intentional pauses give your mind space to recharge and amplify the effectiveness of every action, turning ordinary mornings into high-performance routines. Remember, skipping these moments is not efficiency, it's sabotage. Protect your daily habits, honor your motivation, and reclaim your energy, one small break at a time. Your calendar is packed, your to-do list overflowing, and yet somehow the day feels shorter than ever. Overscheduling every hour may appear productive, but it quietly undermines your daily habits and erodes your motivation. When every minute is accounted for, creativity is stifled, focus collapses, and the small joys of accomplishment vanish. Historically, the most successful people mastered balance. Great innovators, athletes, and military leaders structured their routines to allow flexibility and reflection. Military motivation emphasizes precision, but also recognizes the value of breathing space between drills. Gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation routines all incorporate rest and adaptation, proving that constant motion is not always progress. Even listening to a personal motivation speech, watching a personal motivation video, or engaging with personal motivation songs loses impact when the mind is overwhelmed with constant obligations. The dangers are subtle but powerful. Overscheduling prevents deep engagement with personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish, reduces the effectiveness of writing a personal motivation letter, and diminishes thematic motivation, music motivation, and anime motivation sessions. Even rocky motivation routines highlight the importance of strategic pacing. Without it, energy burns out before results appear. The antidote is thoughtful planning. Prioritize high-impact tasks, leave intentional gaps for reflection, and integrate these adjustments into your daily habits. By doing so, you protect your motivation, sharpen focus, and allow space for creative solutions to emerge. Overscheduling is not discipline. It's a trap that fragments energy and reduces output. Remember, true productivity is not about filling every hour. It's about honoring your daily habits, cultivating motivation, and giving yourself room to thrive. It looks productive. It feels necessary. Yet, beneath the surface, it quietly steals your time. Procrastination in disguise. Busy work, endless minor tasks, and trivial decisions create an illusion of achievement, undermining your daily habits and sapping your motivation. You're doing something, but it's rarely the something that matters most. Historically, even the greatest leaders and innovators understood the danger of this hidden thief. Military motivation drills emphasize the importance of tackling critical tasks first, while gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation routines follow structured progressions to avoid wasted effort. Even the most powerful personal motivation speech, personal motivation video, or personal motivation songs cannot drive results if procrastination is quietly steering the ship. This subtle saboteur affects everyone. Checking emails, endlessly organizing files, or tweaking minor details may feel productive, but it diminishes personal motivation in English, personal motivation in Spanish, and even the impact of writing a personal motivation letter. Thematic motivation, music motivation, and anime motivation routines lose their punch when time is consumed by disguised avoidance. Even rocky motivation and soccer motivation training remind us, energy spent on the wrong thing is wasted energy. The key is recognition. Identify disguised procrastination, prioritize high-value actions, and embed this awareness into your daily habits. By confronting hidden delays, you reclaim your motivation, sharpen focus, and transform ordinary routines into meaningful progress. Productivity isn't just action, it's intentional action aligned with purpose. Remember, what looks like work is not always progress. Protect your daily habits, fuel your motivation, and focus on what truly matters to achieve lasting results. Sitting for hours at a desk, barely stretching, barely moving, this is the quiet trap known as ignoring physical movement. While it may feel harmless, it slowly drains your energy, dulls your focus, and erodes your daily habits, silently weakening your motivation. A sedentary routine may seem productive, but your mind and body crave motion to perform at their best. Historically, leaders, soldiers, and athletes understood this truth. Military motivation drills, gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation regimens all emphasize movement as a cornerstone of energy and discipline. Even rocky motivation sequences and anime motivation training routines highlight that physical action fuels mental resilience. Skipping movement, however, dulls the impact of personal motivation speeches, personal motivation videos, and personal motivation songs, leaving your intentions unfulfilled. The consequences are subtle but powerful. Ignoring movement diminishes personal motivation in English, personal motivation in Spanish, and even the effectiveness of writing a personal motivation letter. Sitting for hours fragments focus, disrupts posture, and reduces the effectiveness of thematic motivation, music motivation, and soccer or team routines. Motion fuels circulation, cognition, and clarity. Without it, your daily habits lose their edge. The solution is simple. Integrate short walks, stretching routines, or mini exercises into your day. Pair them with personal motivation music, and intentional focus to restore energy and sharpen clarity. Movement isn't just physical. It revitalizes your mind, reinforces daily habits, and supercharges your motivation to accomplish more. Remember, ignoring physical movement is silently destroying your potential. Move intentionally, honor your daily habits, and let your motivation thrive. It hits mid-afternoon, that sudden spike of energy from candy, snacks, or the office vending machine. The afternoon sugar rush might feel like a quick fix, but it's a secret saboteur of daily habits and motivation. The temporary boost comes with an inevitable crash, leaving focus scattered, energy depleted, and productivity stalled. Historically, even busy professionals and military personnel understood the dangers of relying on quick sugar fixes. Military motivation routines, gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, and sports motivation regimens emphasize proper fuel over fleeting highs. Even the most inspiring personal motivation speech, personal motivation video, or personal motivation songs cannot counteract the fog of a sugar crash. Maintaining personal motivation in English or personal motivation in Spanish requires steady energy, not spikes and crashes. The hidden cost is significant. Sugar-fueled bursts undermine Rocky motivation training, anime motivation routines, and even the focus required for writing a personal motivation letter or tuning into temic motivation playlists. Music motivation for work or exercise loses potency when your body is fighting the crash, and soccer motivation or team practice performance suffers. The solution is simple but transformative. Replace sugary snacks with balanced nutrition, proteins, fruits, and healthy fats that sustain energy without interruption. Pair this with mindful daily habits and motivation music to keep focus sharp. By controlling your intake, you protect your personal motivation, maintain steady energy, and turn afternoons into productive, high-focus periods rather than energy roller coasters. Remember, the afternoon sugar rush may seem harmless, but it's silently draining your motivation and breaking your daily habits. Fuel smart, stay energized, and reclaim your afternoons. Ping, ping, ping. Every alert from your phone, email, or messaging app is silently stealing your focus. Constant notifications are one of the modern era's most insidious productivity killers, quietly sabotaging your daily habits and draining your motivation. What feels like staying connected is actually fragmenting your attention and eroding your ability to accomplish meaningful work. Historically, focus was sacred. Leaders, innovators, and military strategists structured their days to minimize distractions. Military motivation routines emphasized undisturbed periods for deep work. Athletes relying on gym motivation, bodybuilding motivation, or sports motivation understood that mental clarity is just as important as physical training. Even the most inspiring personal motivation speech, personal motivation video, or personal motivation songs lose their impact when constant interruptions hijack your brain. The consequences extend further. Notifications disrupt personal motivation in English, personal motivation in Spanish, and the concentration needed for writing a personal motivation letter. Temic motivation, music motivation, anime motivation, and Rocky motivation routines all require undistracted commitment. The endless ping of messages, alerts, and updates fragments focus and diminishes the effectiveness of your daily habits, leaving your motivation scattered and your energy depleted. The solution is clear. Turn off non-essential notifications, create tech-free zones, and schedule intentional focus periods. Pair this with structured daily habits, energizing motivation music, and deliberate planning to reclaim hours lost to digital chaos. By doing so, your personal motivation remains high, focus is restored, and productivity becomes intentional rather than reactive. Remember, constant notifications are not harmless. They are stealthy energy and focus thieves. Protect your daily habits, defend your motivation, and take control of your attention to achieve your goals. If you loved this video and want to continue transforming your mornings with daily habits and endless motivation, don't stop. Like this video to show your support. Comment below what you found most inspiring or what habit you'll start today. And subscribe to Future Forge so you don't miss any helpful tips. Ready for more? Watch the video I've curated for you and continue developing your daily habits, boosting your motivation, and taking your mornings to the next level. Your journey to a more productive, energized, and focused life starts now.